Nick, 93.7 The Ticket is excited to be broadcasting this weekend from Stillwater, Oklahoma, as the Big Ten champion Nebraska baseball team appears in their first regional since 2021. From Friday through Monday, Austin and I will have pregame shows, postgame reactions, interviews, and other thoughts from Stillwater as the Huskers begin their road to Omaha. Regional coverage is presented by Mullen Motors, Sandhills Global, and Blur Events. It's NCAA baseball tournament coverage live from Stillwater, Oklahoma, this Friday through Monday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Dell and Ed present A Kernel of Truth.
That's Ed's new drone. Why do a couple of Nebraska corn farmers need a drone? 2 words: multispectral imaging. Drones help us farm more efficiently and protect planet Earth. Yep, Ed's a pretty good pilot. When he doesn't hit the broadside of a barn, that is. Nebraska corn. It's the plant that can change the planet.
Visit nebraskacorn.gov to learn more.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highways.
HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Play ball! Summertime is here, and so is another action-packed baseball season with the Lincoln Salt Dogs. Bring your whole crew to Haymarket Park to experience the magic under the lights and the thrill of the game. Enjoy daily specials like Wiener Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, and Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts. Don't miss out on the excitement.
Strike 3, you're out!
Visit saltdogs.com to see this week's promotions and secure your tickets to unleash the fun.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
At Doane University, we build leaders. And that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours. And our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello and welcome into the Daily Nebraskan show right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. I'm Ben Droz, one of the sports writers at the Daily Nebraskan, and I'm joined via video stream by the one and only Danny Berg. Danny, how are you doing?
The one and only. That sounds fantastic for me. My goodness, I didn't think I earned that distinction yet.
You are the one and only Danny Berg. I mean, that I know. I mean, there's probably.
Well, I try my best. try my best, but we're here. We're doing things.
That's all we can ask for. I wouldn't, Danny. You're the only Danny Berg to me, and that's awesome. That's awesome. Danny's one is the social. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Danny is the social media person for the Daily Nebraskans sports. Pretty much, you pretty much handle sports. Do some other stuff.
We proudly just hired another person to be doing it. Very excited. We will not give away their identity yet, but hopefully we will towards the start of next semester. Very excited for that as we're growing our digital landscape in the sports department.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because we had you running around.
I don't mind running around. I like doing things.
And that's why
I'm always available.
That's why you're the one and only Danny Berg.
Hey man, we're doing different things around here.
We are proud to be Daily Nebraskan strong, right?
Yar.
I don't know what this is, but we're doing it. We're lifting hand up, fist.
Fist is up. Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about on the show, so let's get right into it. I want to start off with some Husker baseball talk, and we're going to give updates throughout the show because Nebraska is currently playing Florida in the regional. Right now, Florida leads 7-6, but Nebraska scored 2 in the top of the 6th inning to make it 7-6. They were down 7-4, scored 2 in the top of the 6th. They have a runner on second. Last that it's been updated for me, 1 out. So we'll see if Nebraska can tie it up or take the lead in this top of the 6th inning. But Danny, I'm sure you've been watching the game a little bit. You watched the other games. Let's first go to the first time Nebraska played Florida. I know that was kind of a while ago. That was on Friday. That was eons ago when it comes to sports. But because they're playing Florida again, I want to talk about this game a little bit. So what do you feel like was the biggest thing that went wrong for Nebraska in the first matchup against Florida in this regional? And what do you feel like Nebraska's maybe doing a little bit differently for the game to be, 7-6 right now?
Well, these teams really, they don't play each other all that often. The only time you would really think that they'd play each other is in those early season matchups, and those really don't matter all that much. And, Brett Sears throwing that first game, he's got a lot of tape on him with all the games that he's thrown this season and just how highly regarded he is. There's a lot on him. And Florida had a lot of time to prepare for him. Sears threw, I want to say, the second game of the Big Ten tournament, and then really didn't throw again for about another week. That kind of extended rest isn't all that beneficial for pitchers, but he didn't really throw a lot of meaningful ball after that. We know he pitched that last inning of the championship game against Penn State, but you could kind of just count that as a side session. Now he comes into this game and Florida really is facing him, and he hasn't thrown in a solid 10 days. It had been a while for Brett Sears, and the bats just weren't able to pick it up. And what's interesting, though, too, is that a lot of people didn't think Florida would even be in the tournament. They were one of those bubble teams, and they managed to get a 3 seed, and arguably one of the better 3 seeds in the tournament. I keep looking. I'm watching the game right now as well, so I'll help you out with that. But they had themselves a nice bounce back yesterday. They really just had to flush that first Florida game and move on, and we see Mason McConaughey continue to dice hitters up with 8 strikeouts yesterday, which was really impressive.
Yeah, and then going to yesterday's game, Niagara. Nebraska had to make a comeback after not such a great first inning. What do you feel like was going right? I know you kind of touched on it a little bit, but what really changed in Nebraska's momentum in that after that first inning in Niagara? Because Niagara's a team that, while they're not in the big time conference like the Big Ten or SEC or something like that, Niagara's still a team that could light it up, score a lot of runs. They had some pretty decent pitchers. So what do you feel like went right against Niagara? Because they're not a bad team at all.
Well, let's just make one thing clear here. I don't believe there really is power conferences in college baseball. Everyone's good, and we've seen it in the past where Division III teams will knock off D1 teams. The big one I look at is when Loras College went into Iowa and they beat them in a single game a couple of years ago. That's just the funny thing about college baseball is every level is good. So you really can't knock any of these AQ teams that aren't a Power 5 or a Group of 5 school because they are good. They're just not getting the attention that everyone else does because media deals, that's where the money comes in.
Yeah.
So I think they had some of that OS mentality, and they were like, oh, our season could be over if we don't start figuring out what's going on. And I thought it was interesting that McConaughey got hit hard early in the game.
Yeah.
Hits were getting scattered all over the place. But you did a nice job of bouncing back, and you didn't let it phase him, and he was able to keep going and ate up innings. He was able to wear that hard start and continue to push forward, and that's when the bats started to get going. They went stone cold for the most part, on Friday night, and then they come in Saturday starting out pretty cold. Niagara's trying to come off of that tough loss to OK State Friday night, and here we go. It's turning into a slugfest, and that's kind of what we've seen here today. The back and forth, high scoring, but they're gonna have to score some more here today if they want to make it to tonight's game. Yeah. But I think some of the reality just set in. Like, we got to start figuring out what's going on. They weren't hitting, pretty much, and pitchers were getting hit pretty well. So the hitters got to bail you out, and fortunately they did. It took some heroics, but they figured it out. But it was a little nerve-wracking there for a little bit. They made some hearts go in some throats.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I know it's hard to assess. I mean, so far how Nebraska's done. I mean, even when it's not even over yet. But like, how have you thought about Nebraska's showing so far at the regional through like 2.5 games? Because I mean, a lot of people were dogging on Nebraska after the first game of the Big Ten tournament when they lost 15-2 against Ohio State, and then Nebraska goes and wins the whole tournament, Big Ten tournament. I know they got to a slow start, losing to Florida, but they had a great bounce back win yesterday against Niagara to stay alive, and now they're in the thick of it against Florida right now. I mean, like, do you feel like Nebraska's got the same energy they did in that Big Ten tournament as they are right now in the regional?
They're working their way towards it. I honestly think that they needed more energy for this because I think after they beat Purdue, we all kind of knew that, okay, they're going to be a tournament team. There really wasn't any second guessing that they weren't going to be a tournament team just because of the resume. Even though they got hammered by Ohio State and then beat Purdue, we were all like, okay, this is going to be a team that's going to qualify. Doesn't really matter what happens.
Yeah, we kind of knew that going into the Big Ten.
We did. There was still some that were a little wavery, but I think the Purdue win and then definitely the Ohio State win solidified it that they were going to be a tournament team. And that's when I think some of the mindset came in, like, hey, we can go and win this thing. And I remember saying when they were playing Penn State that the Big Ten tournament really doesn't matter all that much to them. It really doesn't, because we know that they're going to be in. Barring a miracle, we knew they weren't going to be hosting. So at that point, it's just what regional could they get put into? What's a pretty good situation? Florida just got another run across. It's now 8-6, bottom of the sixth.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
RBI double. Caglianona doing more stuff. But I think the energy had to get ramped when the NCAA tournament comes around, because by a lot of different metrics, this is one of the hardest regionals.
Yeah.
I mean, Oklahoma State's a national seed.
Oh, yeah.
Nebraska's your Big Ten champion for the tournament. And then, although Florida teetered up and down, it's still the power of the SEC.
Yeah, we saw what Florida's had a lot of success in recent years. Obviously.
Oh, yeah. They were a game away from winning the whole thing last year. And while they lost a lot of talent, they still managed to tread water and get themselves to this point. They played a lot of good competition. So It definitely is one of those tougher regionals, and then Niagara comes out and they're swinging the sticks.
Oh yeah,
it's definitely been one of the more fun regionals, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, Nebraska, yeah, right. Like you said, update. They're down 8-6 now against Florida. I mean, if Nebraska does lose to Florida today in this game, how disappointing do you feel like that is for Nebraska? Because I also want to touch on something you said before, but I want to get to this first. Like, would you feel like this would be a disappointing season if Nebraska doesn't beat Florida here and they get knocked out pretty early in the tournament? I mean, if you would have told fans at the beginning of the year that Nebraska would have won the Big Ten tournament, got to the NCAA tournament, I feel like fans would have taken that. But
I feel like a lot of people would have been happy, just considering where the program has been in the past, and the expectations at the start of the season weren't here. They were like kind of here. They were down a little bit more. So, but you get people going along for the ride. You see the success that they're having. They get ranked in the national polls. I think they are ranked in the national polls right now.
I think they're 25.
I think they're 25 right now. So you get people's attention. So if they don't make it out of the regionals, if they lose today, or they lose one of the games to OK State, if they manage to win this game against Florida, they're going to be sad that they lost. But in hindsight, when you actually step away from it and you look at the team in past years, you start to think to yourself, we really weren't expecting to get this far in the first place.
No.
They really weren't. And they weren't built to be a tournament team at the start of the season, but they manifested themselves into it.
Yeah.
And we're getting what we have now.
Yeah, I mean, I compare it a lot to Nebraska men's basketball, where it was like when Nebraska lost the first round of the tournament, it was so disappointing. But like fans, fans just have to be happy that Nebraska even got that far in the first place, considering, like you said, where the program is, where it was. I mean, Nebraska basketball hasn't had much success at all in recent years, and I mean, Nebraska baseball, kind of the same thing. First Big Ten championship was this year, so haven't had much success in recent years either. Did make a regional in 2021, I believe. But I mean, again, it's just both programs haven't seen that much success, and the fact that, I mean, both made the NCAA tournament is a pretty big deal, and good trend going forward into the future for both programs. But I want to touch on something you said earlier, saying that you thought that they didn't think the Big Ten tournament was that big of a deal. Winning the Big Ten tournament wasn't that big of a deal. And if they didn't feel that, I don't agree with that, because winning a Big Ten tournament is such a big deal, in my opinion. Anytime you
you're right. You're right in that perspective, but when you think about it from a NCAA tournament perspective, they're going. Yeah. So what happens in the Big Ten tournament really doesn't affect the outcome of the tournament that you want to be in, because top 8 go to the Big Ten tournament. They finished second in the conference. It's now 9-6. They finished second in the conference, so they're going to go try and make a dent into things. But it really didn't affect the outcome. I think if they went 0-2, they might have been in trouble and probably would have been a bubble team. I think that their midweek record would have come back to hurt them in the selection committee's eyes. So winning the whole thing definitely helped them. I think it got them a better spot in regionals. But if they went 1-2, 2-2 in the Big Ten tournament, they're probably still not a bubble team. If they went 0-2 and got knocked out right away, then yeah, I would think they're a bubble team. But if they won a game or won 2 games, then they're probably a 3 seed. And that's fine. I was very concerned during that tournament, just because of the amount of games they were playing in a short amount of time, of pitchers' arms getting hurt. we have seen throughout the year that there is a lot of holes in that bullpen. And we saw Will Wallace really step it up. Jackson Brockett stepped it up. McConaughey and Sears doing what they do. And Jalen Worthley just was pitching from outer space, and he was pitching fantastic. Mm-hmm. And then you're getting and then Drew Christo, I miss Drew Christo. He pitched great too. But I think Will Bolt in the back of his head was thinking like, the bullpen's been shaky all year long. And especially that the second Creighton game, when Nebraska played Creighton the second time at Haymarket, that second of the 3 games. Mm-hmm. I was watching that game and I was thinking to myself like, who is going to blow it tonight? And it didn't happen until the 9th inning. It is now 11-6, by the way, so things are getting thin there.
Florida is rocking it in the bottom of the 6th. I mean, they had a 5-run inning in the bottom of the 2nd, now 4-run inning, bottom of the 6th. Nebraska got it close at the top of the 6th. They scored 2 runs to make it 7-6, but now Florida's tacked on 4 runs bottom of the 6th. It is 11-6. Florida, it's not over yet, but it's not looking good for Nebraska.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good, and I think this, just as I was saying, goes back to the bullpen inconsistencies. They're bringing in Evan Borst now, but they had Freelick was in there, Dice was in there, and Freelick looked good with the 3 punch outs, only allowing a hit, only 34 pitches, but Dice got pieced up this inning. Just sprayed all over the place, and that's just kind of how the bullpen has been this year. It's just been very inconsistent, and in today's world of baseball, you have to have a good bullpen. Guys that aren't your starters, your main guys that you go to be able to get you out of things.
Yeah, I mean, we all know Nebraska's got a good 1-2 punch in Sears and McConaughey, but after that, it has been a little shaky. Brockett's been okay, but even still, I mean, it's been the bullpen, like you said. But we're going to throw it to break here. You're listening to the Daily Nebraskan Show. Once again, if you want to text any thoughts about the Husker baseball game, again, text line is open. The Starter Raymond text line, 402-464-5685. We'll get to your comments.
Top of the screen.
Yeah, top of the screen and for the stream, 402-464-5685. Text any comments you have. We're going to talk some NBA next segment. We have Celtics Mavericks in the NBA Finals. So it's going to be an exciting series. Danny is air dribbling a ball. So with that, we're gonna take it to break. You're listening to the Daily Nebraskan Show right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Dell and Ed present A Kernel of Truth.
That's Ed's new drone. Why do a couple of Nebraska corn farmers need a drone? 2 words: multi-spectral imaging. Drones help us farm more efficiently and protect planet Earth. Yep, Ed's a pretty good pilot. When he doesn't hit the broadside of a barn, that is. Nebraska corn. It's the plant that can change the planet.
Visit nebraskacorn.gov to learn more.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Here you go. Coffee's on me and my new BFF. I thought I was your best friend forever. BFF like best financial friend at Members Own Credit Union. Right now, they're offering $100 when you consolidate or transfer a loan or an existing credit card balance and meet requirements. Plus, you get great rates and free advice from a financial partner that will put you first.
That sounds like a match made in heaven.
Members Own Credit Union is the type of bestie you can count on. Get started today at memberzonecu.org/BFF. Limitations may apply. Equal housing opportunity.
Gaina Trucking is hiring for heavy equipment operators and a heavy equipment mechanic. Working at Gaina Trucking is a great career with excellent team culture, with benefits package including competitive pay based on experience, health, vision, and dental insurance, and a 401k plan. If you're looking for a new job as a heavy equipment operator or mechanic, apply online at gainatrucking.com or call 402-794-5000. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking.
Take your internet service to new levels with Allo, your award-winning internet provider across our fiber hoods. Allo isn't just about the fastest internet available. It's about connecting you to your world, work, and play seamlessly. Our award-winning service ensures affordable, secure, and reliable connectivity, setting us apart. Ready to transform your internet experience? Experience the fiber difference today. Sign up now at allofiber.com. Allo, connecting your world.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Tune in every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 p.m. for the Malone Radio Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Don't miss the opportunity to learn about the Malone Community Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln and the surrounding area. It's the Malone Radio Show with Executive Director John Goodwin and Sports Director Mike Hunter every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Do you want to try something different on your smoker? Now through June 2nd, enjoy fresh, all-natural pork belly for $2.99 per pound. Great for burn ends or making your own bacon. Also, USDA Choice Pecana for $9.99 per pound. And if you're looking to stretch your pennies, all-natural fresh chicken drumsticks for just 88 cents per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Hi, it's Tom and Mike from Husker Rewind. And did you know that people who are represented by an attorney are often compensated up to 3 times more than someone who is not?
Friedman Law has been helping injured people for over 60 years. It's all they do. If you're ever seriously injured in an accident, call Friedman Law at 402-476-1093.
Friedman Law is a family firm that works hard for Nebraska families just like yours.
So if you're ever injured on the job or in a crash, contact Friedman Law at friedmanlaw.com.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello and welcome back into the Daily Nebraskan show right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Ben, Danny still here with you. Danny's streaming in because, it's summer break for us. And not everyone's in town. Danny, where are you back home? Where are you at? Oh, did we lose Danny? Oh, well, while he tries to reconnect, or Danny, you still there? There we go.
I'm still here.
Ah, finally. I got worried we lost you, Danny. Danny, where are you even streaming in from?
Hometown of Chicago, Illinois.
You in Chicago. Nice. Well, hey, have you been to any Cubs games yet so far?
Not since I've been back, but we're planning one soon.
I haven't been to a Cubs game in a while, so that should be a lot of fun.
I gotta get on one of these.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into some NBA talk because we got Mavericks Celtics in the NBA Finals. And I don't think anyone predicted this at the start of the season. While, yes, Boston has been a big-time favorite, it's mostly the Mavericks. Not a lot of people saw the Mavericks going this far with just Luka and Kyrie as as the start tandem. People were questioning the people and the pieces behind them, including me, but pieces like PJ Washington, Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, Derek Jones Jr., guys like that have stepped up for the Mavericks, and now they've beaten the Timberwolves to get to the NBA Finals. I just want to first get your thoughts. I mean, who do you got in this series, first off?
Well, this is giving off some major Golden State Cleveland vibes from 2016. Because you got the Warriors coming in, this big bad powerhouse with Steph, Dre, and KD, and then you just got.
Well, in 2016 they didn't have KD.
Sorry, I get all those. All those teams get meshed together now because how much they've won.
I know
that's my bad.
What you mean Clay, Steph, and Dre.
Clay, Steph, and Dre. That's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah.
And then LeBron's Cavs that year just very doubted, weren't expected to get very far, and they pull off the unthinkable. They come back from down 3-1 and they win the series, but it was I was going back on this a little bit, and I was very intrigued by just the path that the Cavs took to get there, because very similarly to Dallas, no one really thought they were going to get that far, and they go on this miracle run. If you would have asked me, at the start of the season, if the Dallas Mavericks were going to get to the NBA Finals, let alone the Western Conference Finals, I would have thought you were nuts. And more so that the Denver Nuggets weren't in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
That's also very surprising. I just don't know if Dallas is going to be able to stand up to the power that Boston brings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're just that good. I mean, I know that Indiana couldn't put up as much of a fight as they probably wanted to without Tyrese, but even still, it's hard not to pick Boston just because of how much they've walked the floor with everyone this year. I don't think that it's going to be a 4-0 sweep. Let's make that clear. I think this is probably going to be a 6-game series with a lot of back and forth, but I think the experience just wins out, and I think that's very, very helpful for Boston. They've been here, they've done it, they've gone through the disappointment, they know what it feels like, and while Dallas has done some of it, not to the same extent as Boston, it seems like every year they're in the Eastern Conference Finals or right on the doorstep of it, and a lot of times they've been making the NBA Finals. I mean, look at the banners. We see it all over TD Garden, and just look at the way they play. I mean, it is wow. That is a really good basketball team. I think Dallas is going to have their hands full, but I think Dallas is going to give them a series. I don't think Dallas is going to win it, but Boston's going to have a hard time in this one.
I'm going to politely disagree and say that while the Celtics have gone, I believe 12-1 so far in these playoffs. Only lost one game to the Cavaliers. While that's the case, they haven't looked like they haven't dominated the way that 12-1 sounds like. They didn't look great in some of those games against the Cavaliers. They lost. I mean, in that Heat series, there was a game or two that Heat, even without Jimmy Butler, gave him quite a bit of a fight. The last two games, not so much, but the first couple. And then in the Pacers series, in that first game, the Pacers basically threw that game away for the Celtics to win that game, and also game
the
two,
Pacers just couldn't finish that entire series.
I mean, so I'm saying, especially the Pacers series, the Celtics didn't even look that good. They swept them, but it was like, okay, it was like the most undominant sweep I think I've ever seen in my lifetime. Like
anticlimactic 4-0 sweep.
Yeah, I mean, it was just it looked like the Pacers are going to get that first game and make it a series, but then they throw it away. Game 2, Celtics make another big comeback, and then the series was just over at that point. So while the Celtics have gone, I believe 12-1 or 12-2 in these playoffs, they still haven't just looked that great. So in my opinion, I still am going to be picking the Mavericks just because I just feel like Luka and Kyrie are just a little too unstoppable right now. Danny, there's one question I want to ask you though about this Mavericks team. I've talked about this a little bit on the station, but Luka and Kyrie, there was a debate. Is Luka and Kyrie the best offensive duo guard tandem in the history of the NBA? Again, I'll repeat that since you're cutting out a little bit. Do you feel like Kyrie and Luka are the best offensive guard duo in the history of the NBA? Like
history of the NBA. Wow.
I mean, come on. The only two that I can think of off the top of my head is Steph and Clay. Steph and Clay in recent history. And I feel like there wasn't enough offense to have any of those. I mean, there might be guard duos that you would say overall you maybe take over Kyrie and Luka, but we're staying strictly on the offensive end. I think it might be true. I think Luka and Kyrie might be the best offensive guard duo we have ever seen.
Well, okay. So the way that you pose the question, I would probably go Steph and Clay because of the accomplishments. I mean, I know that. I mean, Kyrie has won. He's won, but not the same magnitude that Steph and Clay have, and especially together, they were with each other for all those years up until Clay got hurt and couldn't stay healthy, and we don't know if he'll ever be the same again. And Steph just having to put the team basically on his back.
Put the team on my back. Danny cut out again. Well,
put the team on, having him do everything.
There we go. Well, we let Danny reconnect. I kind of see his point. The accomplishments of Clay and Steph. I mean, I can agree that we got Danny back. I can agree that with the accomplishments of Clay and Steph, you can maybe say that. But I'm just going like right now, Luka and Kyrie. I mean, just offensively skilled. I mean, Kyrie.
Now, it's without a doubt it's those two. Right.
Yeah.
Right now, without a doubt, it's those.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with you that, I mean, right now I do feel like Luka and Kyrie, but still all time, I'm still gonna take Luka and Kyrie because I just feel like these are the two most offensively skilled guard tandem in the history of the NBA. But with that, we're gonna throw it to break to let Danny reconnect. We'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. We'll be right back on the DN show right after this break.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Allo Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit allofiber.com to switch today.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs. Pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Dell and Ed present A Kernel of Truth.
That's Ed's new drone. Why do a couple of Nebraska corn farmers need a drone? 2 words: multispectral imaging. Drones help us farm more efficiently and protect planet Earth. Yep, Ed's a pretty good pilot. When he doesn't hit the broadside of a barn, that is. Nebraska corn. It's the plant that can change the planet.
Visit nebraskacorn.gov to learn more.
Spring in Nebraska brings green grass and warmer weather, but it also brings severe storms which can cause damage to your home. Meadowlark Exterior specializes in hail, storm, and wind damage restoration, as well as roofing, siding, and gutters for commercial or residential buildings. Meadowlark Exteriors focuses on fine craftsmanship and proves that in their attention to detail. They offer free roof inspections and estimates and insurance claim assistance, serving the Lincoln and Omaha surrounding areas. Call today at 402-875-2956 or go to meadowlarkexteriors.com.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Community means something different to everyone. But for me, it means cheering on those around you during the good times and helping them out during the tough times. I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I've been blessed with the support of my friends, family, coaches, and community throughout my life. When looking for a bank to call home, it was easy to choose Midwest Bank. I never feel like just another customer, and they're proud to support their communities. They love what they do, and it shows. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
One last segment here on the Daily Nebraskan Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Danny hopefully is able to stay connected now because, you know, we want to
let's hope so.
We want to be able to hear from Danny. We love hearing his lovely voice and his awesome opinions, even if I don't always agree with them. Again, I just want to go quickly back to what we were talking about, Luka and Kyrie versus Steph and Klay. You know, I just, like, I would say, you know, in the history of NBA, if I was going to take a duo, obviously because of the accomplishments that Steph and Klay had, you'd want to pick them. But I'm just saying, offensively skilled. I don't know how you can not pick Luka and Kyrie in the history of the NBA. Because we all know how great Luka is. And Kyrie Irving is one of the most skilled offensive players we have ever seen.
Would you... Okay, here's one for you. Would you have prime Luka, so right now, and current Kyrie, or prime Luka and prime Kyrie when he was a lot younger?
So you basically so is Kyrie Irving better right now or in 2016?
Mm-hmm.
Man,
you're the basketball geek.
That's really tough. I mean, everything that Kyrie did in 2016. I mean, honestly, he was a huge part of why they won that finals. I mean, the big shot he made in Game 7. I mean, man, I don't know. I cannot pick 2016 Kyrie, but I mean, right now Kyrie is right there, though, in my opinion.
And see, this is why I feel like this resembles so much of the 2016 Cavs with the Mavs this year.
Mm-hmm.
Just particularly this part of the season, because of the way Kyrie was playing. I feel like if you want to put oh my goodness, it keeps cutting in and out, man. This is
All right.
this is
No,
sad.
I believe in it. I believe in it. Go on.
It the resemblance is like scary.
Mm-hmm.
And the supporting cast is really good too for Dallas.
It is.
Just like it was for the Cavs. They had a really good supporting cast of guys that weren't named LeBron and Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it feels like for Dallas too, because it doesn't feel like it's Luka and Kyrie doing all the work every night. It's adequately spread amongst them.
I mean, yeah, obviously Luka and Kyrie are top two dogs, but like you said, I mean, PJ Washington has been awesome in a lot of these games. Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively, they've had a huge impact. Derrick Jones Jr. is an awesome role player, and those are just a few of the names that I can think of off the top of my head. I mean, this Mavericks team had a better supporting cast than a lot of people think they do, and this is why I'm picking the Mavericks, just because the Celtics are an interesting opponent because of the way, this Celtics team can just kind of switch everything. So they're going to be able to defend the Mavericks a lot better than the Timberwolves did. But I'm not betting against Luka and Kyrie. I like you said against 2016. I mean, the fact that you're comparing them to LeBron and Kyrie back in 2016, I don't know if I go that far, but they're really close when it comes to a duo. They have been awesome so far this year, and I mean, they look like they may be the best duo in the league right now.
But when you talk about dynamic duos, though, that when it's two players that are the highlights of the team, I don't know how you can't look at those two with the way that LeBron and Kyrie carried the Cavs during that stretch, because that's what it feels like Luka and Kyrie are doing right now.
No,
I don't think you can put Luka in any way into what LeBron has done over his career yet. Give him like another 15 years and he might be able to get there. But it feels really close to the way that those two had made an impact on their team and on the league. Because Cleveland was, we knew they were good. We didn't really know how good. They go to the NBA Finals and they're playing Big Bad Golden State that had easily been the best team in the NBA that year. I know that it's really hard to make the LeBron-Luka comparison in these two scenarios, but it just feels eerily like how it was set up in 2016.
Yeah, definitely. No, I can agree with that. The last thing I want to touch on, we'll get away from a little NBA talk. I want to touch on the new NCAA transfer rule that allows for unlimited transfers when it comes to college athletes. So college players, so if you're a football player, you now have unlimited transfers. So you're not held back by eligibility, when you want to transfer, how many. You can transfer as many. So if you wanted to, you could go to 4 schools in 4 years. Danny, I want to get your thoughts just initially. I mean, do you feel like this? I mean, this is kind of this. Everyone was kind of expecting that this was going to happen, but it's kind of now officially official. Danny, what do you think about this rule now that it is pretty much now come to fruition?
So, before we get that, here's your baseball update. It's pretty bad now. It's 16-6.
Yeah. Florida has lit it up in these last.
It's bad. So I want to do a deeper dive on it, and I really want to read the fine print on this, but I don't like it. I really don't. I understand and
I'll wait for Danny to reconnect. But him saying that he doesn't like it is very interesting, in my opinion, just because of the fact that, I mean, you can go to four schools in 4 years. And the thing that I think this is going to affect the most is not a lot of people see it this way, is high school recruiting. Obviously, high school recruiting is always going to be a thing. But the fact now that a player can commit to a school and then just, immediately just up and leave, not many repercussions, it's kind of crazy to me. Like, I don't feel like the big-time recruited freshman athlete is going to be, landing him is as big of a deal as it was a few years ago when, athletes couldn't just transfer as freely. Like, I just don't feel like, obviously high school recruiting is still going to be a big thing, but I just don't feel like getting that big-time freshman athlete is as big of a deal as getting someone in the transfer portal that can do it. Obviously, there's a lot of skilled players in high school, and you want to be able to get them. But, why would I go and take a chance on a freshman player that might not pan out when there's a guy in the transfer portal that we've seen his production so far in college? I mean, I just feel like this is going to hurt high school recruiting, the impact of having a big-time freshman recruit coming in. I just really feel like that's going to be the thing that impacts the most.
This is going to destroy high school recruiting because let's take the Huskers, for example. They have a really good recruiting base in the western part of the Midwest and up along the Rocky Mountains. But now, I don't think this is how Matt Rule operates, but for the sake of argument, let's say that he does. He needs to, let's say cornerback for this hypothetical situation. Instead of going out and sending his coaches to this high school to the north, this high school to the west, this high school to the southeast, he can just go and take a player that has transferred out of some college and be like, hey, you want to come play for us? We know you can do that. And they're like, sure, okay, so you're going to come play here now. That takes away a scholarship spot for a potential player that has Division I talent and could be playing at a Power 5 level. It relegates all these high school players to lower levels of competition. That they don't necessarily.
I completely agree, Danny. I completely agree. I mean, the fact that, players can just. I get that this is gonna give players more freedom to do, what they want to do, and I get that this is college and this should be, student first. So a student should be able to go where he wants to go. But again, a lot of people saying that college is turning into the NFL, but not even the NFL has this much turmoil. In the NFL, you have contracts that you have to stick to, or you get traded, or you get cut. Only ways that you leave. You can't just you're 1 year into your contract and be okay, I want to go play for this team now. I get college is different, but this is too much in my opinion.
It portrays the message to coaches, and I think this is going to really change how coaches are going to look at players now, because you want players that are going to be committed to your program and are going to stick it out. They're mortgaging their future on 5-star prospects. Let's think of programs that have been struggling in years past, and they're trying to re-up themselves again and get back to the top tier of college football. It's going to make it a lot more difficult for these players to convince the coach. They can just go and they can go put on a happy face. I want to go play for your team, and they just up and leave in a year and they go play somewhere else. And that puts a bad look on the player, and it's a trickle-down effect. I understand the transfer rules of you can transfer out. That makes sense, because what if you get misled in your recruiting? That's understandable. But free transferring, like, it's now been enacted, like, it creates this huge vortex of things that could happen now. I mean, like you said, the professional sports isn't this crazy. You sign a contract for X.
Yeah, no, I agree. If you like in the
Number
NFL,
of years for X number of dollars.
Yeah, in the NFL, you sign a contract, you have to stick to it. And now, and it's like, you know, when players commits to a college, it's like, it's not at all like, signing a contract in the NFL. I get these are two different things, but still, it's like there's got to be some kind of level.
The NIL is the contract, pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know the specifics of how NIL contracts work, but I would imagine that they're 1-year agreements for a certain allocation. Once those are up, they up and leave.
I know it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy just how much movement there's. I mean, there's gonna be even more movement now when it comes to college sports. It's definitely gonna be interesting. But with that, I want to thank you, Danny, for joining me on the Daily Nebraskan Show. Happy you were able to.
Sorry for all the technical issues there.
Connection issues, but we worked through them. We got through it. Had a fun show. Thank you, Danny, for dropping in. We'll be right back on the show next week, same time, 5 to 6, the Daily Nebraskan Show. We were going weeknights 11 to 12, but now that school year is over, we're going to be going 5 to 6 on Sunday nights. So until next time, see ya.
Peace.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, travel,